Welcome to Conversations with Garmamie. This is episode 14. In the previous episode, we heard from Henry Eruotor.
That's the kind of actor I'm looking for. Someone who can make you believe that they're actually living the life that they're portraying. You know what I mean? That's it. That's acting for me.
This episode is a continuation of that conversation. Tell us about your production company, the type of work you guys do, and the origins of the name, the story behind the name.
So, Thorvicks Method Production is the name of my production company, and we do short films, documentaries, events, so corporate events and stuff like that. The story behind the name is my brother who passed away. His name is Victor, and his friends called him Thorvicks, so they switched the name around. So Victor Thorvick. Backwards. That's it. He was very artistic. He would draw and paint and stuff like that. But he passed away. Didn't have any kids. Wasn't married and stuff. So I named my production company in his memory.
What role does your wife play in the creative mix?
My wife is my backbone. She's the brain behind most of what you see. Actually, I'm just the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true. She's my biggest critic. So I'm working on something. I cannot put out a film until she has done a criticism, and so she's very particular. She pays attention to the last detail. I think I do that, but she's worse. If I miss a comma in a spelling, she's pointing it out. Change that. So she's very, very involved in it. She's very, very passionate about what I do, and she wants to see me excel. So she'll make sure that it's the best.
Here's Henry's wife, Anika, commenting on Henry and his work.
I think his films are wonderful. I think Henry has a trait that not everyone has, humility, and he's also very he is not someone who's driven by ego. And I think that comes through in his filmmaking and his filmmaking process, because he is ready to try anything. He is ready to read anyone's story. He's ready to listen to anyone's expertise if it means that his film will be better for it. And so for that reason, I think Henry's films are wonderful. Beyond the fact that he's an incredible storyteller, I think they're wonderful, and I think they're getting better each and every time.
Didn't she write the brotherly story?
She did.
The film?
She did actually. I came up with the story and she wrote it in one night.
How are you involved in the creative process?
I wouldn't give myself too much credit. I kind of pitch ideas, and he is very free to shoot them down or say why they don't work or anything like that. But in all aspects of our lives, we pitch ideas back and forth, and this is no different. So I think we have a good time doing it.
She's very, 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 very cool like that. Very, very artistic. Very. I'm actually blessed to have her as a wife, as a partner, as a friend. She's amazing. She's amazing. So one time we were working on a short film, and I got some help from the gentleman sitting across from me, and we failed to communicate on what we were recording on. I was recording on 24 frames per second, and Garmamie was recording on 30 frames per second. And then we were sitting in front of the computer editing this footage, and he called out to me saying, "Hey, what did you shoot at?" and all was revealed, and we said, "You know what? This is gonna be tough. We tried just a sample to see if it would work. It did work, but in the end, it was so frustrating because it didn't work in the end.
I remember that night, and I thought, like, okay, well, this is where you throw in the towel. And
But no, you don't do that. The show must go on. So we had to improvise. We had to make a difficult decision to use some footage that we ordinarily would not, because we actually got better shots from your camera, but we had to stick with the 24 frames per second so that
and we only had, like, I think a couple of hours, right?
That's it.
So we were under a certain artificial deadline to deliver. So it's not like we could have. And we had some other limitations, as far as, okay, we could have converted or blah blah blah. But we were like, we got to deliver. We got.
It was a 72-hour film challenge.
Right, and we were like
a couple of hours to the deadline. So something had to be done, and we had to make the hard decision of going with footage that would not necessarily make it to the final cut if we had all the time in the world. But everything worked together for good, because our film actually won third place in that film competition. So kudos.
How did that feel, coming in third?
It was amazing. I still don't believe it, because it was the first time I was submitting a film to a film festival, as a matter of fact. And I wasn't sure what the response would be. For me, I would have been happy if my film was just screened. If people saw my work, I would have come home and I would be like, hey, good job, Henry. Next time we'll do better. And then we got there and they listed the top 10 films. This was a competition that had up to 20 films submitted. And we were listed among the top 10. And I said, well, good job. We made it to top 10. Okay. So we started playing films from 10 to number 1. And the 10th film wasn't ours. It was coming up and up. We were like, okay, this looks good, until the 8th film that was played, which means we were third place, was Undertow. It was a fantastic feeling. I was especially happy for the writer of the story, Caden Lawrence, who I met by chance. So what the organizers of the festival did was they invited writers and filmmakers and actors to enlist with them, so that filmmakers can actually work with other actors and writers and collaborate with them.
Sorry, what?
And collaborate with them.
Right, this is the Ottawa International Film Festival,
That's
right?
correct. So they sent out a list of filmmakers, so you can have access to actors and writers, and you can use them and work with them, right? So I saw Caden's portfolio, and I said, okay, this might be an interesting person to work with. So when we went to get information from the film festival about, like, the catch and release, I met him. Remember, you were there with me?
Yeah.
And then we spoke to him and we told him, hey, do you have a team you're working with yet? He said no. So we spoke to him. He said, yeah, he's going to work on something. In a matter of hours, just a few hours later, he sent me an email with a script that he wrote, like, in less than 3 hours. And that's what we used. And he was so excited that night when the film won third place, because he said it was the first time his story has been filmed, so it was the first time he was actually seeing actors portraying words that came to him.
There you go.
It was fantastic for him to be there. And as a team we worked very well together, writers, actors, and crew members. It was good.
Tell us about your films, please. Give us the run through. Give us the name of the film, what the film is about, and a short few words as to what you enjoyed about the story and the production.
The first one would be The No Nonsense Wife. I gave a preamble about that already. It was written by a Nigerian writer that's based in the UK. And I saw she actually wrote it as a prose, and I saw it on a blog, read it, really liked it, because many people can relate to stories like that. It's about friends who claim that their life, who think that, who make you think that their life is perfect,
Right.
when in truth and in fact it's not, you know. Um, so this story was about two friends. One of them was having trouble with her husband, who was having trouble getting a job, and her friend was trying to instigate her as to leaving a marriage and stuff. But she found out that actually that woman, her friend, isn't living the rosy life that she claimed she was living. So many people can relate to that, and yeah, the response was amazing. It was fun shooting it. We shot it at the dead of winter because we're working towards a deadline. Also, many of my films I shot for festivals, so there's always a timeline. So we had to work with a timeline. It was cold. Sometimes it was really cold shooting outside, but it was fun.
Great film. I really enjoyed it, and I think the actress who plays that no nonsense one, damn, she could act. She was amazing, man.
She's actually very good. I actually miss Tolu, and her name is Tolu. She moved back to Toronto. She was doing a master's here in Ottawa. So
And what masters in?
she's actually a nurse. She's a professional nurse.
Okay.
So yeah,
She should be acting.
I
Yeah?
know, I know, I know.
What's her
She
name?
Tolu Lopez. Yeah.
Shout outs to Tulu.
Tolu is very good. Actually, I wish she would come back to Ottawa. I wish I can work with her more, but hey, we'll
She's
see.
very convincing. Like
She is
I
very
remember,
good.
like the first scene where she's talking. She looks directly in the camera, right?
That's right. That was the style I
And
went to.
yeah, I like that. And she delivered it, and I was like, bam, right away. I was like, this chick has presence, man. And you know what she was saying, she believed.
That's it.
You know what I mean? She worked. Tulu, get the hell out of nursing and get into acting. You know,
That's the kind of actor I'm looking for. Someone who can make you believe that they're actually living the life that they're portraying. You know what I mean? That's it. That's acting for me. You know. So she did an amazing job, and I had to find a strong lead, a male lead with her also. That's why I had to get my trusted hand, Afe, to work with her. So yeah, it came out really well. I really liked it. I wish I watch it back now and I see some technical things I can improve on, and I want to reshoot it again. But hey, moving on to the next project. So yeah.
sure. Tell us another film you made and what you enjoyed about it making, and tell us about another film you made and what you enjoyed about that film.
Another film another short film would be Boomerang. Boomerang, actually, it's written by another Nigerian writer based in the UK. So what happened was she saw what I did with No Nonsense Wife, and then she contacted me saying, "Hey, I write short stories also. Can you adapt one of my short stories?"
So she's a no nonsense writer.
She's not. This is a
No,
different.
I mean okay, bad joke. Skip. I meant she's a no nonsense writer. Get it?
That's it.
Supposed to laugh, damn it.
So she sent me a bunch of shorts, and they were too short for me. For me, many of the stories weren't complete. So what I did was she sent me like 10 of them. So I selected 3 of them and turned it into one story. So I did a screenplay and sent it back to her to say, okay, I can't do all 10. I can't do one individually. This is what I can do. She's like, okay, go ahead and do it. So yeah, I did that screenplay for over 1 year and nothing. I was hoping I would get funding from the writer or from somewhere else so I can produce the film.
Wait a minute, she didn't pay you?
No,
What's her name?
it's okay.
Pay.
No, it was fun. It was fun. It's just we're just learning and making films, just building the portfolio. Yeah. So at some point after 1 year, I said, you know what? I can't just let these ideas die off. We need to shoot this thing. So I got actors and some friends together, and including your humble self. And then we did Boomerang. One thing I really liked about Boomerang was the discovery of Rebecca, who played your wife. Let me see how I came in contact with Rebecca. I think it was John. Okay.
Shout outs to Rebecca.
That's right. So it was John. John is one of my friends who is a producer himself. We're working on, he has his website, so we do a bunch of skits, comedy skits on his website.
You're not going to plug his website, are you?
Yoro TV.
Okay.
Yeah, go check out Yoro TV. Almost all the videos there we did together. John is an amazing writer. He's very, very funny, very comedic. And so one time we went to shoot on location, and someone came. That's Rebecca. She came, and she's supposed to be the publicity person. And I saw her, and I'm like, okay, she's very beautiful, and she was helping an actor prepare for their lines. I noticed that she was doing even as almost better than the actor that was preparing. I'm like, okay, she should be an actor. She should be acting. You know what I mean? So when I decided to shoot that film, I said, okay, I'm gonna get different faces this time. Try new faces so that we're not repeating, we're not recycling actors. So I brought her on board, and she was amazing, working alongside yourself and some other actors. But she was a revelation for me, and the response on that one was also very, very interesting. Another interesting thing about that film is we were looking for another reason why it took so long to shoot was because one of the scenes is supposed to be in a hospital, and I couldn't for the life of me find a place to shoot as a hospital. I didn't know how to go about securing a hospital room to shoot that scene,
right?
Until I went on Kijiji and started looking for, ads and stuff until I found this place, which was like an hour away from Ottawa.
So, you actually found the spot on Kijiji.
On Kijiji.
Kijiji works.
It does.
Damn.
Anything is possible on Kijiji. You can find anything on Kijiji. You can find actors and all kinds of stuff on Kijiji. So I contacted this person, and they said, yeah, you can come and see it. We went there. Amazing guy. I don't remember his name right now, but he was very helpful. He's the property owner. The medical doctor who was renting his property was closing shop, so all the equipment was still there. So he asked me to come and shoot before this lady moved all her things out, because we needed the equipment to make it look authentic, like coming back to me, because people were saying, hey Henry, you can just dress up a room, make it look like a hospital.
Right.
I said, no, it's not going to look like a hospital. I need a real hospital. Anyways, so we drove 1 hour away to shoot that, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Who was the doctor in that scene?
The doctor I also met through John on a separate production. One of the skits, a series that he was working on. So I met her. And
she was cool for that character.
She's very good. She actually looked like a medical doctor.
Exactly, she's believable.
Yeah.
And about that character Rebecca, she I could tell that she's a very patient. She's a team player, She's very, very patient, very calm, and she listens. She follows direction, and I think those qualities. Even though no one's getting paid and blah blah blah, whatever. Those qualities are good for any member of any team.
That's right. And I like actors or people who I work with to pay attention to details, and she's one of those. So
you must hate working with me.
No, come on. So say for example, she did a line like this way. And if I forgot to mention it, she would say, Henry, do you want me to do it this way again? Or like she's asking for feedback and hungry to learn, to make sure it's done right. And you do that also. You want to know what I think about your previous reaction and action and stuff. So I like working with people who want to see the best come out of what they're working on. That for me, that's professionalism. Even if you're not paid for it, you have to put your best foot forward. Every time you come on the screen, it has to be the best that you can offer. You know what I mean? So, and these are the people that I work with. They put in their best, even though they're not paid for it. They show me that they are willing to learn and to improve because that's what I'm all about, to improve. Because when I make a film, I want to make sure that my next film is better than the previous one all the time. So add something new, learn something every day. So if I see people who are willing to do the same thing, hey, let's go.
You've been doing films now in Ottawa for how many years? How many years have you been involved in this creative community?
So 3-4 years, I think. Yeah.
And I find out today that you, your wife, and your son are moving to Tanzania.
Yeah, we're actually moving to Tanzania for 2 years, and it's an exciting phase in our lives, and we're looking forward to it. I'm really excited. It will be an opportunity for me to go back and reconnect with my African roots and get more inspiration and tell more African stories. This time it's going to be East African mostly. But yeah, I'm really excited. We're looking forward to it.
What kind of stories will it be? Fiction, documentary? Are you going to do both? Are you open to whatever?
It's going to be both. It's going to be even more. I'm actually even thinking of reconnecting with my theater roots in Tanzania. See if I can go to the local universities to get theater actors over there and produce stage plays, and then do documentaries and fictions. Because I know that there's a thriving film community in Dar es Salaam and in Tanzania. So I want to go and collaborate with these producers, filmmakers, and learn from them and see if they can learn anything from me also.
That sounds like a very cool. It's going to be a very cool experience, a very opportune one. Obviously, you could even start a film festival there. And
I know they have the Zanzibar International Film Festival, which is huge. So I'm looking forward to getting some of my films screened there. It's huge. It's sponsored by international companies and organizations. So it will be very interesting to have my film in the Zanzibar International Film Festival. I'm looking forward to all of that.
Are you still going to be submitting films, to Ottawa festivals and whatnot?
Yes. Well, it depends. It depends on the criteria that they are looking for the films. It might be challenging for...
I mean, like Ottawa International Film Festival and all that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. But if one of the requirements is to have someone running on Bank Street...
Well, then that's when... This is when you outsource your crew in Ottawa. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because imagine, you could submit a film that was shot, that was captured both in Tanzania and Canada.
That would be amazing.
That's a winner right there.
That's an amazing idea.
72 hours.
Now that's challenging because you're working with different time zones and stuff. But it should be fun. Yeah, I think I should. I'm looking forward to that.
Do you have any advice to any filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker?
My advice would be, don't just sit down there and criticize what other people are doing. Go out and shoot yours and learn from your mistakes. Because I was in the same seat many years ago, I will watch films and say, no, they should have done it that way. They should have done it this way. They shouldn't have used that music. They shouldn't have used that shot. And someone told me, Henry, it's tough watching a film with you. Where is your film? Show us what you can do. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, that was a challenge. So I had to go out there and make a film myself. But when I saw that it wasn't as easy as you think it is, then you learn from your mistakes. So an aspiring filmmaker out there or an aspiring actor, you have to put yourself out there. You can't shy away. You can't sit down on the couch and criticize. Go out there, make films, low budget, no budget, borrow equipment, beg, do whatever you have to do, make a film, and in 5 years' time, you see that your film is there for a lifetime. Your kids are going to see it. Your family will see it. If you make mistakes, fine, move on, learn from it, and that's it.
Any last words?
Watch out. Watch out for some amazing stuff coming up very soon from Thorvicks Methods Productions.
Thank you very much for answering these questions, and all the best to you and your family in Tanzania, East Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Conversations with Garmamie. For more information, visit garmamie.com. That's GARMAMIE.com. GARMAMIE.com.